супер вездесущие подписчики. Я не знаю ни одного места, ну и это не было исключением. В общем, одна из, может, там целая команда. Я вышла из салона, я у себя разместила тоже.
It's interesting to me how at different stages of our lives we understand boundaries differently. Like, for example, 10 years ago, I really thought that boundaries were about, not that I thought about it like intentionally like that, it's just my point of development was only to the degree where I was able to set boundaries, like on the very surface level. For example, you don't communicate with me like this. I don't want a certain type of people in my life. I want to live a certain way. Something like that. Like it's something that on this level, probably a lot of people understand what boundaries are. And more or less everyone sets them the way they, like if they already start thinking about such concept as boundaries, then probably like within a short period of time they're able to manage some of their aspects of their lives in a way that the life becomes comfortable for them, like on the surface level. Like, this is where I want to live, this is the kind of relationship I want to have, and stuff like that. Like, that's like the first level of setting boundaries with the world. And so 10 years ago, that's how I understood boundaries. You're only able to understand something to the degree that you have developed personally yourself. So even though I thought I was a very self-aware person, only time is able to show you who you are. Well, what I would tell myself right now, like what I would make myself look at, and what kind of things I would apply to my life at this period of my life, I would say boundary setting is about, really, it's not about big decisions, and you may not even have to make any big decisions in your life. Start with very little micro tiny decisions that you make at every second of your life, starting with all kinds of little things that you decide to do in your regular boring life. What's comfortable for you, what's not comfortable for you, what's okay for you, what's not okay for you. But really, you need to first learn about yourself and then set a certain kind of boundary with the world. But it doesn't have to be like a loud boundary setting. You don't have to let the whole world know about this new setting of yours. It's your own decision. The difference between defenses and boundaries. Usually, people who don't really spend time to understand what boundary setting is, what they do is they put up defenses around themselves instead of boundaries. We put defenses around ourselves when we don't really want to feel certain things, when we are afraid to feel certain things, when we are not ready to feel certain things. All of this is okay as long as you realize that this is a defense, not a boundary. And maybe slowly over time you start to replace your defenses with boundaries. That it's okay to not to answer certain questions. You really decide for yourself what you want to answer, what you want to talk about. I honestly used to struggle all my life with uncomfortable questions. I did not give myself permission to be okay with not wanting to talk about certain things, even if other people want me to talk about it. Like, it's really my decision. A definition about boundary violation, that it's only a violation if you let another person know what is uncomfortable for you and then they violate this boundary. If they didn't know and they violate your boundary, like, it's not a violation yet. How we should set boundaries when we are talking to someone and we see that this person is not really open to communicate, what they're doing is that they're using their defenses. And all this does is it pulls you away from your own issue. You are getting pulled into another person's story, and it's just a waste of time, a waste of your energy.